that we're in 2023, the Code Arc is finally going to be adapted into the Boruto anime starting in February. Now of course, now we're in January, we do have the Sasuke Resident novel adaptation being adapted into the Boruto anime as well to start off January. Now when it comes to something like that with this novel, it is going to be a short adaptation, probably consisting of 4 to 5 episodes. There's going to be a lot of new content dropping this year, and I want to talk about the future states of the Boruto series right now. A couple months ago, back in August I think, I made a video talking about the current state of the Boruto series, where I did state that the anime was at a very dry point with the ending of the Funato arc and the start of the Himawari arc, plus with the Code Arc moving slow with a lot of exposition, slow paced chapters, which by no means was bad. But at that point, my opinion on the Boruto series was wavering. I still did make many videos on it, of course, since I am a Boruto YouTuber, but I did want to be honest on my enjoyment about the series. But now that we're in 2023, with the start of manga and novel adaptations beginning very soon in the anime, and with the Code Arc in the Boruto manga seemingly going into a crazy turning point within the arc itself, I definitely do think we're going to get a lot of crazy shit for the rest of this year. Now of course, I do want to stay optimistic. I don't want to hype up anything too crazy, like me saying that the time skip is coming very soon, which I'm not gonna lie, I don't really care when it's coming. I just care about how it will be handled and the execution overall. But with the anime, I do want to say though, is that I expect a lot more, especially with this year, of what the content of what we are getting. Because I'm not gonna lie, when it comes to the year of 2022, the content that we got from the Boruto anime was, at least in my opinion, overall just disappointing. I was not a fan of the Funato arc. I was not a fan of the Himawari arc. I did watch the latest arc, the Boruto Squid Games arc. I did check that out. It was pretty solid, with the 8th Kara inner member being introduced named Oga. That was pretty interesting, as it did tie in with Amato's research with Jigen in the heart. I wouldn't say the year was overall bad, but I would say that the first 2 major arcs, the Funato and Himawari arc, which took a majority part of the year, did turn me away from watching the anime. I'm not gonna lie, and that's why you really didn't see much anime content being talked about on this channel in the year of 2022, simply because I wasn't too interested in talking about it. Unlike with 2022, where there was a lot of anime original content, which by no means am I saying it's bad, but I feel like a lot of people are going to agree with me on this. A lot of the content that was shown, it wasn't really the best, and I would argue that we've gotten way better anime canon arcs that I feel like should have been improved on when it comes to the Funato and Himawari arc, which were very long arcs, specifically the Funato arc. But now that we're past that, heading into 2023, there's going to be a lot of crazy shit, especially with the Code Arc. Now, I did make a video where I did say that the Code Arc is the best arc in the Boruto series. I did use that title as somewhat clickbait, I'm not gonna lie, but when it comes to the anime adaptation for this, there could be an argument for it, especially when it's fully adapted. The anime is known for expanding things, especially with additional content with characters and villains, specifically with Kara, just like how they handled it with Kawaki and the Kara organization back during the Kara activation arc. I could imagine that we're gonna get additional episodes on Code's character, as well as with Ada and Damon, but I do want to say that we're not gonna get any Code activation arc anytime soon. Many fans were speculating that it was going to happen, me as well. I thought we were going to get an anime canon arc that led into the Code arc, sort of like a Kara activation-esque Code activation type arc. We really didn't get that with the Code arc. I know people are going to argue that the Labyrinth arc is something like that, but it's not really, simply because we didn't get any information on Code. We just got a little bit information on Amato, Jigen, and the 8th Kara inner member Oga. Now I do imagine that once we do get the adaptation of this arc, we're going to get a lot of exposition with the likes of Kawaki, Boruto, Momoshiki, and Code. Unlike with the Kawaki arc, with how it was handled, especially with its adaptation, the pacing of it is going to be a lot different. You guys gotta remember, toward the ending of the Ishiki battle, there was a change in Reddit from Kodachi to Kishimoto. Now of course, with the way how Kishimoto ended the Ishiki arc, it was something similar that I imagine that he probably just followed Kodachi's script that he left for him. But with the start of the Code arc, you definitely do notice a change in pace, as compared to the Kawaki arc, the Code arc does move pretty damn slowly, especially in the beginning. Now by no means is this a bad thing. I definitely do think this is a solid thing, especially for the characters of Boruto, Kawaki, and the rest of the new gen as well, as the Kawaki arc, when it was running during the manga, it moved very fast. There was a lot of battles that happened continuously, whereas with the Code arc, it's just more or less one ginormous battle with 3 to 4 characters that leads all up to it. So heading into this adaptation, I have high expectations. I'm not gonna lie. I've heard on Twitter they have started the production of the Code arc starting from back in October, so we may actually get another crazy episode incoming, probably toward the beginning of spring, especially once we do get that battle with Code, sort of like another episode like episode 189 189 or 204 or 217 on that type of quality once we get that big battle between Boruto versus Kawaki, because that is the peak of the Code arc and we're definitely going to see that sometime in the spring. I don't think that we're going to get that right away in the start of February because there's still a lot of exposition chapters that need to be adapted within the anime, and to be honest with you, they're probably going to take their time. Of course, the anime can fly through these chapters pretty quickly, since once they are adapted into the anime, you can probably clump 2 to 3 chapters within one episode, since there's a lot of talking between a lot of these characters on tons of dialogue that needs to be addressed before we go into that crazy battle. And once we do get to that battle, we're definitely going to see some of the best animation we've gotten in a while. We're definitely going to get some animation where, I'm not going to lie, it's probably going to be on the same level as like a 204 or a 207. I'm not going to confirm that we're getting an episode 189 part 2 when it comes to this battle between Boruto and Kawaki, or Boruto versus Code. I'm not going to confirm that right away because I'm not an animator, I'm not a leaker, I don't have the insider information over here, you know, I don't have connects with Studio Period, but I just want to say that I think we're going to get one of those banger episodes that when it comes to these crazy fights that happen in Boruto, we're definitely going to get one of those, because to be honest with you, when I reread Boruto vs Kawaki in the manga, the circumstances and how drastic it was, the fight overall, Studio Period, when it comes to their adaptations, when it comes to big and crazy battles, they usually deliver, especially in the Boruto series. I don't really have any doubts with them. Of course, my expectations are a lot higher, but it's not sky high. Of course, this fight could be on the level of episode 189, but I do want to say that I definitely do think that we should have some expectation for this big battle. I'm just praying for a faithful adaptation at the end of the day, because this is one of the more exciting arcs in the Boruto series, and there's a lot of moments within this arc that turn the entire fandom over, especially once we saw Boruto die from Kawaki's wrath and Code get his limiters removed and seeing Shibai for the first time. The amount of shit that happens in this arc, I'm not gonna lie, it is crazy. I don't know how many chapters they're going to adapt. I imagine that they're going to end the adaptation for the Code arc probably toward the beginning of chapter 70 or so, since that's right after the big battle between Code, Boruto, Naruto, and Kawaki. So I don't imagine that there's going to be more adaptations, considering by the time that we get to the 70s adaptations, the anime would have caught up to the manga, because a lot of the chapters in the beginning of the Code arc, exposition and dialogue heavy chapters, where once the anime adapts them, they'll just fly straight through. And I'm not gonna lie, with the fact that they are adapting it this quickly, I definitely do think this is the final arc before the time skip, the last arc to Boruto part 1. I don't imagine another major arc happening. With the fact that in the manga, Code has a 10 Tails army with his limiters removed, there's no way that they're gonna have another big threat come in pre-time skip. After the big initial battle against Code, they're probably gonna take a break, as it seems like there is a break in time before Code begins his attack. I'm not gonna lie, with Code probably attacking in the next couple of chapters, I definitely do see the adaptation going towards summertime, taking a break for a couple months for the manga to space out, and we might resume it toward the end of this year. I'm not gonna lie, compared to 2022, I expect the anime to be a lot better in terms of quality, animation, and especially with its overall adaptation. I expect a faithful adaptation, and I'm not gonna lie, I definitely do think Period got it. They did a very good adaptation with the Kawaki arc, delivering basically the best moments the Boruto series has ever seen, and knowing that they can extend a lot of these scenes, especially how they did it against the fight against Ishiki, I'd imagine that we're gonna get additional scenes during the big battle against Code. Now, that's all we're gonna talk about for the anime. Let's talk about the manga real quick. I did mention that Code probably will attack the Leaf Village in the next couple of chapters, and when that does happen, I'd imagine that the Leaf Village is going to be destroyed. There's no way the Leaf Village is going to walk away scot-free or unscathed. The amount of damage that this 10 Tails army Code has, I'm not gonna lie, outside of the Karma and Cyborg siblings, it's grits for everybody. I doubt that Naruto or Sasuke have the power to take down unlimited Code, because if they do, I'm not gonna lie, Code's a dog shit villain. I don't care what anyone says. I'm really hoping for Code to actually get his get back. So far in this arc, even though it's called the Code arc, the main villain has been getting his ass beat this entire time. So I really hope that Code does get his get back and begin his revenge tour. It's about damn time he starts killing some characters. I did say that Shikamaru will be the first character to go, and I'm still holding on to it because that's one of the people that Code has on his hit list. So I'm very excited on what Code will actually do, because that's where everything will unfold from his attack from then on. Specifically with Amato as well, since even though he is denying that he's a bad guy and that he's just an ordinary dude, I definitely do think he's sus. Momoshiki did call cap on his explanation on Ada's abilities all come from Shinjutsu. Amato still has something up his sleeve, specifically when it comes to reviving his daughter. He did deny that he's not trying to revive another Otsutsuki through Kawaki's karma, but instead try to bring his daughter back. But to be honest with you, he's too sus to clear, man. I just feel like he's gonna use everybody in the end. It's just so hard to talk about the manga considering how unpredictable the manga can be. So it's kind of hard to just talk about and predict what's gonna happen of the future when it comes to this manga because how unpredictable it can be, and that's a great thing. It's just hard to say what will happen, and it takes a lot of people by surprise. So let me know what you think about this video in the comment section below. This is an unscripted video. I kind of just wanted to give my raw thoughts on the future of the Boruto series right now, considering that last year it was not looking good. The manga had a lot of slow chapters, which by no means was bad, but those exposition chapters for a monthly manga, it was a snooze fest at times. The anime was not doing well. I would argue that it was the worst year for the Boruto anime, but I'm really hoping for a bounce back in terms of quality from the anime and manga, where I think the overall series will get a big push as a whole from both mediums. I do have a lot of high hopes, and I definitely do think they will do it justice, specifically with that fight between Momoshiki and Kawaki. So let me know what you guys think about all of that in the comment section below. So if you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe, hit the bell as well, and have a good day. Peace.